Hello and welcome to Geekatplay Studio tutorial. In this tutorial we'll use how to set up and optimize alpha maps and alpha planes. The reason sometimes in Vue applications you want to use maybe include fire, waterfall, and because Vue does not fully support particle system inside, it is good way to do your animation or combine with other footage. It's reuse animation from other applications, and some application example it can be like particle illusion, where it's as simple as just click and put it on your area, and there you go, you have it fire now here. So it's so simple to do those animations. So let's actually, when we put it one right here, let's go increase optimize. One thing I noticed when we have all this wasted space around. So let's go to our zoom and just increase the zoom up. So we have our flame, leave it slightly down. So we'll utilize all area around, and when we're ready, let's go to save it. And it's very simple. So you create here, ready to create. Let's create new directory. Okay. Call fire png. Let's save it. We want save from first frame. Okay. Also be sure you have it save alpha and remove black BG from RGB, so it will be more clear image. Also you can save as AVI uncompressed, and we will read with alpha, but I found out in many cases just save as single PNG images and after load it as animation work better in many cases. So we're ready, click OK, and right here you can see it start rendering our animations and alpha map. Okay, so here it's finished rendering, and now we can go inside the Vue application. My also recommendation from experience, if you prepare your alpha maps before, like you have it create new scenery example, and then you start creating your alpha maps, you save them as objects, and we start work on a scenery, start importing them. It's seems like give it less problems and it's work quite a bit well. So before we do other stuff, let's do preparation, and we'll go ahead, open the alpha plane options, and we'll go ahead start loading our images. Okay, so we'll just go ahead select first one, and when you click open you will notice it's come up with the prompt that says you want to load all sequence. Yes, we want to load all sequence, and also we want to load alpha, and as an alpha we go ahead load it same image. Okay, one thing in alpha what I want to do, I want click inverse. Also we can enable billboard, so it's meaning it's always will face it to us. Click OK. You notice right here we disappear, so we'll go enable our animation timeline, and we can just scroll a little bit ahead, so we can preview, render to screen 640. Let's click on a final. Okay, let's render, and here you can see we have our fire. The couple options we go to modify. One, sometimes if you want your fire cast shadows, mostly they don't, so we'll go to material editor, our alpha plane, and right here we're going to do first we disable, okay, let me go on the first frame, we disable cast shadow and we disable receive shadow. Okay, by default it will be one-sided, but if you use it cube or other ones, you probably want to enable one-sided. Okay, next things, let's go to effects. In effects, because it's fire, I want increase luminosity and pop up a little bit ambient and diffuse. Problem with increasing ambient and diffuse, if you have it like smoke, it will make them a little bit grayish, not so dark. Okay, so we're done with these settings. Let's move a little bit to middle of the fire and preview, and you can see right here we have it look much brighter. Of course you can adjust diffuse and ambient to create darker flames maybe, we'll just bring a bit more details. And again, this is up to your kind of experience. Let's do a couple things. We kind of create a fire here. Let's go ahead, put this a little bit down below, take our mountain. And one thing you notice, it's if we create this, we start create alpha planes, you may have some problems with assign properly materials. So when you create one and you kind of like it, I recommend go ahead and save the object. We'll call this fire. Be sure you enable incorporate texture maps and compress. On that case, all images will be included. Okay, so we're ready. Let's save it as our object. And a couple things, because we're on first frame, we don't have anything. It's kind of won't display it. We can readjust and just click OK. Now let's go ahead create maybe a little bit mountain. Right here, we'll take our alpha plane, put this on the top. Let's go now atmosphere, loaded atmosphere, something more interesting looking one. We'll take main camera, adjust. Okay, also let's preview our alpha map. And in some case you want a little bit adjust so it can be visible. Right here maybe. A little bit above. Okay, let's preview our image. Okay, we still kind of want to tweak maybe a little bit more with the fire so it will produce a little bit better material. Maybe decrease ambient, create even darker, increase luminosity. So overall, it is take a little bit adjustment. Be sure to create your fire look very realistic. Okay, let's go ahead. Just to do a couple things right here. Presets. Okay, spare loaded. Let's try even darker, maybe like bad weather. So we have a higher contrast we can compare fire against. Okay, let's go to so we animated our fire, also movements. Okay, here we can see it's a bit brighter look, more again need work a little bit on the edges and add probably just some fog, and we can do this by creating sphere. Go ahead, creating elemental materials, add some vertical swirls maybe. Set it around here. So this is, and one thing again, we can animate it the smoke kind of looking as well. So it will give it overall looking right around. We have some smoke curling. Okay, also, you know what, let me go ahead and remove this key. So we'll just maybe adjusting our fire. Okay, let's go put it down. So it will be going from the mountain. Okay, I want to delete the sphere. Just go ahead a little bit, make a short animation for this so we can see how the fire as well going. And you notice we're rotating right here, and because we said billboard, so it's always will face it. We'll go point right here, set key on our main camera, move about 2 seconds. Actually, we have it 3 seconds. We save it there. 3 seconds. Take our camera and move it right to this point. Select right here. So let's go preview in our main view how our camera is moving, so we can see the fire around. Okay, and let's go ahead and render our animations, and I want just render smaller so we can just preview, and I'll set also 15 frames. It's cut down a little bit time in our render. And many times when you do preview your animations, you probably want to decrease size, maybe even go on final and less frames. It won't give you the greatest quality, but it's give you enough to see how your animation will work. So we're ready. Let's go render this, and I'll pause tutorial and come back when rendering is done. Okay, so here our animation we're just rendering, and you can see, okay, so let's pick up animation. You can see how we have our fire applied. We could actually put it a little bit down in the mountains, but the purpose of this tutorial can see how we can embed it, animated alpha maps inside the scenery. Okay, thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio. Please come visit us on the web is www.geekatplay.com.